active members. He's working on his MA, and he is also moving into business areas. He is married, he has a wife, he has a son of 6 years and a daughter of 3 years. The title of his speech is My Most Important Meeting. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech. It's his 5th speech. He is particularly trying to work on body language, facial expression, and taking you into his narrative. Our second speaker, Harsha.
Are you all ready for a story? The story that happened in my life? All right. This happened like 10 years ago, in 2001. I was flying from San Francisco, where I was living at the time, to India, my place in Bangalore. And apart from the vacationing, I had another important purpose, to meet somebody. And everybody were anxious for us to meet. They were all looking forward for it, and I was looking forward for it. So on the way to my place in Bangalore, I had a transit place in Mumbai. I got down, changed my clothes, had a clean shave, because I knew I had to meet the person right after I land in Bangalore. And then when I landed in Bangalore, my parents greeted me, everybody met me in the airport, and then they said, let's go and meet this person. And they're all waiting for you to come and meet you because everybody's so anxious. And I said, okay, let's take time. Do I look okay? Because I'm meeting the person, and then I didn't want it to go very shabby, because if you sit in an aeroplane for like 30 hours plus, you know how you feel. You feel so fluffed and you feel so sick because there's no good air in the airplane, so it's just very nasty. So I wanted to take some time to relax, get ready, and then go meet, but they insisted, no, let's go now, this is so urgent. Then we drove to their home, and when I walked to the front door, the person was right at the front of the gate, and I look at the person and I walk up and I say, I'm Harsha, like a casual business meeting, and the person came and greeted me. So now I want you to hold the thought, the mental movie that you're having. I want you to freeze that frame where I walk up to this person and I greeted that person like, I'm Harsha. You know what had just happened? I had just met my bride 3 days before marriage for the first time. We knew each other for like 6 months or more, but we never met each other until that moment. She was so anxious to meet, and I was so anxious to meet. And everybody around us, her family and friends, they were anxious to see how this would go, because nobody had any idea how this would be played, because I didn't have any idea. And when I met her and I shook her hand, she said, I am Wani. And the whole moment froze. It looked like an eternity. At the same time, it just vanished. I waited for that moment for 6 months. It came, looked like an eternity, and it just went away. I wish I recorded it, but I didn't. So, just to give you a little perspective, when I saw her first time, she looked so beautiful. She had a nice Indian dress of pista green color. I still remember that very vividly. And she was like so regal, pristine, so perfect to me to look at it. When I was rehearsing yesterday, I told my wife that I'm gonna lie a little bit. She's okay. So just to give you a background how this all happened, Indian society is very arranged marriage oriented. I would like to take a moment to explain the arranged marriage and the blind marriage, because people take arranged marriage as blind marriage. Blind marriage is where the boy and the girl don't know who they are marrying, they never see each other, but they're just together. But in arranged marriage, you go through this process of understanding the person. Ultimately, you own the freedom of choosing the partner that you want to be. But parents mentors facilitate that union. They look for profiles, they help you meet the girl or meet the boy, then you can talk to the person, understand it, and then you can say, yes, I want it, or I don't want it. So, you know, it's a very calculated, intelligent, your heart has to be part of that. So before I met this person, I had 6 months to talk to her. We called every day for 3 to 4 hours, you know. When at that time, 10 years back, when calling India was 45 cents a minute, and some of my calls went to 4 hours. Every call I paid like $150 or so. So we knew so much about each other. But only the caveat is we never met. We were so anxious. And this was the greatest moment of my life when I met her. After 3 days, we got married. It didn't feel that we were meeting for the first time. We knew so much about each other. When I met, I never felt I was meeting her for the first time. I don't know why. It was so good. And after marriage, we had our little bit of difficulties to adjust. For example, I want to tell you something where when we came back to US, I took her to Golden Gate Bridge. I was all bubbly and like I knew she was going to get excited. And then I take her to the hillock where you can oversee the Golden Gate Bridge, and I go, oh, this is Golden Gate Bridge. She was standing there, fully contained, fully self-control, and she says, this is good. And I said, what is this is good? This is the best thing. And then he said, this is good. No, don't get me wrong. I am very happy, but that's the way I am. So it took us a little bit time to adjust to the personalities, and we made it work. Many people thought it probably would be risky because we had never seen, but we made this marriage work, and it's been great so far. And we have 2 kids, and wonderful. So if I am given a chance to redo this again, I will redo this again. Because I will wait for that moment where I can meet her, which is the most important meeting of my life. Thank you.